Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to a new video. So today we're going to talk about console write line and console read. So what we want to do is we're going to start real quick. So I want to create a new project. I'm going to start. I'm going to always use this. I'm sorry guys. I'm always going to use C# for my projects because I think C# is one of the I don't know how to say, but it's the language that I personally prefer and that I've seen that most people use. And so you may want to create this project by using Visual Basic. That's up to you. And from now on we are always going to work with C#, or pretty much always. And we're going to create a simple project. I'm not going to take care of the project name because I'm going to cover that later in different videos. So if you remember my last video, you can just go to debug and start without debugging. You're gonna see this screen. So this means that the application is running and this is an empty application. Today we want to cover, as I just said, two methods, console write and console read. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some questions, and then we're gonna let the user type the answers, and then at the end of the program we're gonna print the answers that the user provided. So it's gonna start with three simple questions. So in order to be able to write information into the screen, we may need to use console write. So there's console write and console write line. I'm going to use console write line because that automatically add a break paragraph at the end of the question, and so that I like to see like every question in a new line. I want to see like all the questions in the same line overlapping, and so that I'm going to use WriteLine. So that's going to let me write lines in different lines. I'm going to say, what's your age? I'm going to just type three simple questions, and what's your age, what's your first name, and what's your favorite color. It's that simple. So we have three questions. I'm gonna go debug, start without debugging, and alright, so you see the three questions. So I'm gonna just add a question mark just to be a little bit more like I don't know how to say, so write correctly. And what we want to do is after each question we want to let the user type the response for the question, and you're gonna see the workflow of this. So I was gonna do this real quick. So in order to be able to save the user response, we have to create a string variable, and we're gonna say response 1. We're gonna use this response 1 2 3, and we're gonna type the next method that's gonna help us to it's gonna start with read. So we just gonna execute a read dot, and we're gonna type read line, because so that we're gonna read the entire line wherever the user types in. It's gonna be stored into a string. So you can see it right here. It's something that I'm gonna be using so you can like easily understand what's going on. This is the explanation, so you can read that right there, and in other words, it's gonna read whatever the user types, and it's gonna return a string. That return is gonna be saved into response 1. So that being said, I'm right here reading the response from the user. Let's gonna take a look what's going on right here. So let's go to debug and start without debugging. You see like we have three questions, but at this point we're only able to see the one question because the application is waiting for me to input something. This step is gonna be like right here. I'm not gonna be able to go further until I press enter. So if I don't press enter, the application is gonna remain here forever. So that's because it's waiting for me to respond. So this is quite simple, but if you're not familiar with this, is like it's very exciting maybe for you now, but so I'm gonna type 18. You're gonna hit enter, and you know, all the application continue because I haven't added the red lines for the two other questions. So I'm going to end the application, and I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, alright, I'm going to save the second response in the variable strings response number 2, in the third response in the variable response number 3. And so as you can see, there's no reason to read some information from the users not if we are not saving that information. So why we are saving information? Because we need to do something with it later, and that's what we're gonna do. So at this point, the application, I'm not gonna run right now because I don't want to create like a pretty long video. But if I hit the application is gonna be able to read my input and save into 3 different variables, and that's it. So what I want to do is, like, I want to print the responses, the responses that the user provided. And so that I'm gonna type your age is, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just print the responses. I'm gonna print the responses, and I'm not gonna use the quotes, it's just response number 1, and so with the other 3. I'm gonna do the same for response 2 and 3. Your age is whatever the user input. Your what's that? First name is, and your favorite color is. And just I just want to add a new break line here. So I'm gonna use, this is a super easy way to do this. Is gonna put an enter between the questions and responses and the responses written in the screen. So I also want to do this just because I want to like keep in 2 different sections. So what I'm doing right now is I want to let the user type the inputs, and the inputs is going to appear in the screen. Something that you may notice is everything that we are doing right now is being saved into a string variable. We are not using integer for age. We are not using any other special type. So we are only exclusively working with strings, and that's what we are doing right now, because I'm going to talk about like concatenation and other topics later in my video blogs. So it's going to start right here, and we're going to click start without debugging, and we're going to receive the 3 questions. What's my age? I'm going to put Terry or something. What's your first name? My first name is Mario. And what's your favorite color? I have a typo with favorite, but not, and that doesn't care right now. And what's your favorite color? I would say blue. So next step, you see the responses that I just typed in. Your age is 30, your first name is Mario, your favorite color is blue. So I have 2 typos, double is and favorite without e. I'm gonna change that real quick because I'm gonna put this in my website so you can maybe go later and see what's going on. So you just see what your program is doing. And well, I'm not gonna run again, but you can take a look into my website. I want to paste this information. You can copy over and start from scratch. So you just see that I started from scratch, and how I created this simple application. It's super simple. You can start playing around. I remember when I was a little kid, about I don't know how many years, but my brother taught me how to start writing and reading information from the user, and that was very interesting for me to start playing. So that's all for today, and I'm just gonna say a little announcement. So please subscribe to this video. I'm gonna be creating more and more videos. When I'm reading the comments, as of now I don't have any comments yet, but I mean I will be reading the comments and any questions you have or something that you want to cover, and I will be like taking a look to the average and whatever people want to see. That's what I'm going to do. I'm starting from the pretty basics because I mean some people is stuck and they don't know what to do, and I just wanted to like kind of be able to teach something from scratch, from the very basics, and then starting with the more harder and harder until I get to the point that I'm talk about the latest technologies. But I think this is also important, and that's all I wanted to say, and see you in the next video.